Good morning, everybody. At 10:04, we're going to call to order our Board of Commissioners meeting. It's Tuesday, June 21st. We're going to begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you could please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
Okay. At this time, we will accept any public comment for items that do not appear on our agenda. Is there any public comment at this time?
Don't see any.
Okay. We are seeing none. We will accept public comment as each item is under consideration today. Any additions to our agenda?
None that I'm aware.
We are hearing and seeing none. We will look for a motion to approve the minutes from our meeting on June 14th.
I will make the motion to approve the minutes from the Board of Commissioners meeting held Tuesday, June 14th.
And I will second that. It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on the minutes?
None.
Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 I got to abstain.
Any abstention?
One abstention.
Okay. The motion is passed with 2 ayes and 1 abstention. We will head into Resolution 10 of 2022. Really looking forward to hearing an update on this. We've had a great partnership with this program for many years with PennDOT, and so we're going to welcome up some guests at this time, and we may have some folks here as well who are going to discuss it. So please, join us at the front table or the podium.
Yeah, whichever you prefer. You can all come up if you
whatever
want.
you prefer.
I'm sure they'd rather just me.
Okay. All right.
They prefer I
No
be the
pressure or
spokeswoman. Just briefly to summarize what we are a nonprofit organization. We are funded through PennDOT grants. This resolution we're asking for your approval of is a partnership between us and Center County to sponsor the grant. We've had this partnership for quite a few years now, and what it is for a community traffic safety project. And we have unfortunately, the person that goes out in the community here that does this, he's on vacation this week, so that's why you're stuck with me. But what it is, it's community outreach, and it's all data-driven. So we look at crash data, and we see where problem areas lie. It covers the 9-county area for PennDOT District 2, with Center County being the sponsor, and the other counties agreeing to let us go out and do the work in their communities. We don't ask anything financially from the county. We just want your support and approval to continue these worthwhile efforts.
Are you just before? You're still doing like the outreach to kids and the schools?
Kids, schools, senior centers. Josh Woods, our community traffic safety project coordinator, he does Boy Scout Merit Badge. He has a wonderful geocaching trail. He has quite a few projects. He's worked with, I believe he worked with the county to do some media surrounding some of the crash incidents that have been happening recently. So any type of outreach. He works with law enforcement.
I remember a couple of years ago he went out, or not him, but your organization went into the Bellefonte School, high school, and actually did a program for drunk driving and showing impaired driving and whatnot. It was really I think fascinating for the kids to learn about.
And that's the whole purpose of this, is to get out and get the word out before they are on the roads and before they become a statistic. So we are trying to work our way to zero crashes, 0 fatalities.
Safety's a good thing.
Yes.
Yes. Good goal.
Sorry, Mike.
No, it's fine. I appreciate the question. In terms of, just so we could have your name and title, there may be some questions from the media just so that they can appropriately identify you, but please, if you'd be willing to
Sorry.
introduce yourself.
I'm Tara DeStefano. I'm with the Highway Safety Network. I'm currently the Community Traffic Safety Project Coordinator Supervisors. So I supervise we have these grants throughout the Commonwealth. We have 4 of these grants. So I supervise the CTSPs.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you so much, Tara.
You're
Any
welcome.
questions, further discussion before we look for a motion to adopt the resolution?
Continue to
Okay.
support them.
Hearing and seeing none, is there a motion?
Motion to adopt resolution number 10 of 2020, supporting a grant application to the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation on behalf of the Highway Safety Network, Inc., and the other counties of PennDOT District 2.
I will second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion, questions? Okay, we're seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion has carried. Okay.
Thank
Again,
you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Tara.
And we actually have a contract with the Highway Safety Network as well. And I don't know if we're going to have anybody come up for that one, or John, do you want to take that?
Sure. Yeah, this is just a contract with HSN for the county to apply to the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation Program Services Division, Bureau of Maintenance and Operations to fund the District 2 Community Traffic Safety Project.
Fantastic. Okay. We'll look for a motion to approve that contract.
Motion to approve the contract with Highway Safety Network, Inc.
Second.
All right, we moved that second. Any final discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay, thank you, John. And again, thank you, everybody from PennDOT with the Highway Safety Network. We appreciate your work and look forward to the continued partnership. We're going to stay with our Planning and Community Development Office, and we're going to welcome up Chris Schnurr to discuss an MOU. Good morning, Chris.
Thank you, and good morning as well. Okay, good morning, everyone. There's one memorandum of understanding on the agenda for today, and just as a quick reminder, the memorandum of understanding, or an MOU for short, that's being presented today is simply a three-party agreement between the developer, in this case Benner Township, and the county, whereby the developer agrees to reimburse Benner Township's engineer for the costs associated with the township engineers processing, reviewing, inspecting, and approving the engineering details of the plan. That's all the Board of Commissioners is doing. It's just a contract with those three parties regarding engineering review fees. And the MOU that's being presented is for, it's a final land development plan entitled the Benner Pike Hotel, and it's located in Benner Township. It constitutes a final plan submission showing the development of an 82-room hotel, 4 stories, and it's located along Amberley Lane, about 300 feet northeast from its intersection with the Benner Pike. And to give a sense where the property is located, this is the traffic signal at Amberley and Benner Pike with the Penn State Credit Union and Clavin's Furniture along with ResTech. As you're heading north, you're going into Bellefonte, and as you're heading south, you're going toward the interchange. And this is the lot that is being developed. It's about 4 acres. It's also being subdivided into roughly 2 2-acre lots. Now, to give an overall sense of the lot, this is the 2 lots that are being subdivided into 3A and 3B, with the 82-room hotel on basically the eastern side of the lot, with the stormwater management that's going to be addressed and handled from this lot 3A through an easement to get to that facility. Now, an enlarged version, a close-up version of the plan simply shows the access onto Amberley Lane along with the 82-room hotel and the various parking stalls shown on there. And that's the MOU that's being presented today.
Thank you so much, Chris. We will open it up for questions, comments.
There's no plans for the other section of the subdivision.
Not at this time, no.
Nice to see a hotel going up in Bellefonte. Future, we'll have 2 hotels in the Bellefonte zip code.
Absolutely. We'll continue to see a lot of development within, as you said, Chris, off that interchange. And so, and Benner Township, as we've seen before, is an area that you focus on out of our planning office. We continue to be impressed and really appreciate your diligence and knowledge of everything that goes into these final land development plans, draft plans. Really thank you so much for all the work on this and the presentation today.
Thank you.
You do good
We
work.
will look,
It's great to see all the private sector investment in the greater Bellefonte area.
absolutely. We're going to look now for to add this to next week's consent agenda.
Motion to add the MOU for the preliminary/final land development plan entitled Benner Pike Hotel, located in Benner Township, to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion, questions, or comments? Okay, we're seeing none and hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Chris, thank you once again.
Thank you, and have a nice day.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks.
All right, as our next item is our transportation office. We will welcome up Dave Lum. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Commissioner. Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for having me here today. I come before you asking you to consider the approval of a rate increase for our shared ride services that would be in effect for the fiscal year 2022-2023. The new average fare would come out to about $20.56 per trip. It's an approximate 5.33% increase over the current fare. In plain terms, we ask for, in our mileage-based structure, it's about $1 per trip extra that we ask for, and that's how the percentages come about. Obviously, and keeping up with the times and the cost of operations, it's certainly a necessity to do this to keep us where we need to be, to cover the cost of the trips and keep us to more of a break-even point. And that rate would generate a fair amount of money based on the number of trips we do. Our last increase was in 2019, August of that year, and of course, in March of 2020, we lost about 65% of our trips, so it really didn't do a lot other than, but it has been in place since then, and we've come to realize that we'd like to ask for that again.
Okay, thank you so much, Dave. Any questions or comments on this item for Dave?
Good.
Okay. Dave, thanks for all your work on this. Appreciate getting this additional rate, and that'll certainly help us to offset current costs and any future increases. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
We will look for a motion to have this next week's consent agenda.
Motion to add the rate increase for the shared ride services to next week's consent agenda.
Second that.
It being moved and seconded, we'll look for a final vote on this. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. The motion is carried. Dave, thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay. For our next item, with our Office of IPS, we're also going to be welcoming up our Register of Wills, Christine Millinger, Clerk of the Ordinance Court, and Chad Joyce as well. We're going to talk a little bit about this. We'll turn it over to them at this time.
Good morning. So before you, you have a contract with RBA Professional Data Systems for some software enhancement for the Register of Wills office. I am currently looking at starting to take credit card payments for fees and services for my department. As it stands, it's a cash check money order basis, which has created an inconvenience because most people carry debit cards. So I'm trying to move in that direction. Chad and I met with RBA Professional Data Systems, along with Allpaid is who we want to go with. Joe Davidson currently uses them for the Recorder of Deeds, and Jen is looking at using them for the assessment office as well. The contract, there is no cost to this because we currently have a maintenance contract for the remainder of 2022, which includes any of these enhancements that will be done. So I am just looking for you to approve me moving forward with this contract.
Okay, thank you so much, Christine. Any questions or comments?
How much does a marriage license cost these days?
$50.
So we can put that on our credit card now?
You can.
I don't need personal.
No
Thank you for other
no
folks.
refunds either.
Yeah, all right. So, okay, so there's no returns.
No returns.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll look for a motion then.
Motion to approve the contract with RBA Professional Data Systems for a graphical user interface software enhancement for the Register of Wills Department, basically to take credit card and debit payments.
I will second that.
Okay, you moved and seconded. And as you mentioned, Christine, we've had a number of offices here move in the direction of accepting other forms of payment rather than cash or check. And so we appreciate your office leading on that. Thank you for adding that into a way that folks can finalize their transactions, so we appreciate it. Any final other discussion or questions before we call the vote?
And you will let us know the first time somebody refutes that charge, right?
Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
No, none.
Okay, all those in favor then, please say aye.
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 The motion is carried. Chad, thank you. Christine, thank you so much. Okay. We have with us today from our coroner's office, Judy Bolsonto, and we will turn it over to her at this time for this item. Good morning, Judy.
Okay, this is a first-time grant from the Pennsylvania Department of Health. This is for the violent death reporting system, and we will be giving the Pennsylvania Department of Health our autopsy reports, our statistics on violent deaths. Last year, we only had one homicide, but we did have 15 suicides that we will be providing statistics on. And they will give us $10,000. Okay, I did provide these statistics last year for free, so I was thrilled when they came up with the grant this year.
Absolutely. Thank you, Judy. And is there any other context you can give to this in terms of what they're doing with this data or any research they're doing? Is there any specific outcomes or studies, or is this just come in compliance with any certain act or law that's been put in the books recently?
No, I think they are just hoping to come up with some statistics to help to prevent the suicides and the homicides.
Okay, we appreciate that. Thank you. Any other questions before we look for a motion?
I just wanted to say thank you to your office for providing all the data to our Criminal Justice Planning Office for the HOPE Initiative and all the other grant opportunities that we've had. You've been fantastic making sure that we have the latest stats on what's going on in the county, so thank you.
Okay. Seeing and hearing no other questions, we will look for a motion.
Motion to add the grant agreement with the Pennsylvania Violent Death Reporting System to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
Any final discussion on this question? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion is carried. Thank you again. Judy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, moving into two items for Thomson Reuters. We will welcome up Joni McIntyre, and we will turn it over to her at this time. Good morning, Joni.
Good morning. I'm here on behalf of the District Attorney's Office and Court Administration. This is for the consideration for the contract with Thomson Reuters to provide West Complete print and preview ebook products and the ability to print updates and periodicals for the Pennsylvania criminal justice evidence, probation, parole rules, and updates from the state. This is, again, for the District Attorney's Office. The contract prior to this, I believe, was for 3 years for 6%, so we negotiated with Thomson Reuters to do a contract for 5 years with a 3% increase for the total of $13,774.20. That's a 5-year contract that will go from August of 2022 to July 31st of 27. The same, again, consideration for the court administration. That, again, is from Thomson Reuters for Westlaw, which is to provide an online research and legal resources for 15 employees, which consist of 5 common plea judges, 6 MDJs, and 4 clerks. Again, that's a 5-year contract with 3%. We have negotiated with Thomson Reuters to do all contracts going forward for 5 years, 3% with your approval. That is for $381,481.92.
Joni, thank you so much. Any questions on these contracts?
You want 2 motions or 1 motion?
Whatever you're comfortable with, we can do it
Let's do
together.
them both. Let's do them both.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So motion to add the 2 contracts with Thomson Reuters to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
All right, so moved and seconded. Joni, as you mentioned, thank you for negotiating this down. We appreciate that. Every dollar counts. that we can save, so appreciate that very much. Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
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 The motion is carried. Okay. Thank you again, Jody. We're going to welcome up our warden of our correctional facility, Chris.
Good morning, everyone. Yep.
Morning, Chris.
Sorry about that. Good morning, everyone. We're here for a contract renewal for Huntington County for intergovernmental housing, contract rate of $65 per diem. Period of the contract will be June 22nd of 2022 until December 31 of 2023. That's it.
Warden, thank you so much. Any questions or comments?
Are there any appreciable changes in the contract language in this year? Or is it
Everything's the
pretty
same. We had some negotiations with the language with their new solicitor, and they finally gave in, saw the contract that they signed years previous. There's no wording changed, so everybody's, they're all good now.
Huntington's been a fantastic partner of ours and, one of our connecting sister counties, and I think I can speak for all of us and say we appreciate the relationship and the opportunity to help out.
And Chris, I just, again, wanted to thank you and your entire staff, including the corrections officers, for the diligent discharge of your duties 24/7, 365.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. At this time, we'll look for a motion.
Motion to add the intergovernmental housing contract with Huntington County to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion is
Thank
carried.
you.
Thanks, Chris.
Warden. All right, this time we'll welcome up Natalie to discuss this letter of agreement with Strawberry Fields. Good morning.
Sure.
Natalie.
Good morning. So on behalf of the Office of Aging, this is a letter of agreement between the Office of Aging and Strawberry Fields Incorporated. And really what this is as most of our providers get licensed by their state offices, they want to ensure that they have relationships with other entities for services that individuals that they serve might have to encounter. And so really this is just showing on paper the formal, relationships that often our nonprofit agencies, providers have with county government, even if there's no money attached to it. It just shows that we have the working relationship that we do. And so on behalf of Aging and Strawberry Fields, this letter of agreement showcases their ongoing working together on behalf of individuals.
Okay, thank you, Natalie. Questions or comments on the letter of agreement?
No.
Okay, we'll look for a motion.
Motion to add the letter of agreement with Strawberry Fields, Inc. to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any final questions or comments?
Nope.
Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 I might add that there might be something different in the room this morning. I'm not sure exactly what it is. There's something about Natalie that
Oh, I still look relaxed. That starts next week.
Something exciting in the air, though.
Setting in the air is a good way of putting it, yes. So, okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. At our salary board meeting last week, I believe, Thursday.
Yeah.
For those who aren't aware, we took action to appoint Natalie as our next deputy county administrator. And that'll be taking effect shortly, I believe. If it hasn't already, Natalie. Things are fluid sometimes.
Yes, they are.
But yes, congratulations again to Natalie.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm excited
Thanks
to
for
do it.
temporarily working two jobs.
That's okay. I understand. So, thank you.
Press release will be, is forthcoming.
Well, I had to ruin it because he was here. It was official last week. So.
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to head into our last item on our contract. We will welcome up our controller, Jason. Good morning, and we'll turn it over to you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for having me today. I am here to seek your approval for the letter of engagement with Baker Tilly to conduct our annual transportation audit that's required by PennDOT. This is focusing on the financial and service operations for the Center County Transportation Department for the year end June 30th, 2022. This is a contract total of $7,000, and it is the last year of our contract with Baker Tilly for these services.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Any questions or comments on the letter of engagement? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the letter of engagement with Baker Tilly US LLP.
Seconded.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion or questions? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 All right, motion is carried. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you so much.
We will look at this time for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Is that something I can do, or shall I pass it over to Steve?
Oh, no, you're certainly able to.
No.
I'm able to, okay. Motion to approve this week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on any of those items? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried. Okay. We have 3 individuals we want to thank for their future service, past service, and continued service. Jill Lilly is looking to be appointed to the Aging Advisory Council. We are extending our great thankfulness for Ray Salinas for serving as one of our representatives on the CEDACOG Natural Gas Task Force. And we're welcoming to the CEDACOG Natural Gas Task Force Susan Benedict, who is looking to be appointed. And we should note that Susan was a former member of Center County's Natural Gas Task Force that was created under a board with Commissioner Gershom. And Susan was the chair of that, and we're really looking forward to her service on this. I think she's going to bring a new perspective to this task force, to the Natural Gas Cooperative in the CEDACOG. It really should be a fun experience for her and getting her connected back into all the things that are happening with natural gas. Would there be a motion to approve the ABC appointments and the resignation?
Motion to approve the ABC appointments and resignation.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion has carried. Okay, we'll turn it over to Commissioner Higgins for our checklist.
Well, we have a very average check run this week of $1,643,609.60. Kind of difficult to choose the check of the week, but I decided to go with Navitas LLC and Center First, a check for $267,223 in part for the Titan Park plant remodeling. Just want to highlight the work of the local authorities, municipalities, county government, state government, and federal government in all of the great things that have been happening in the greater Bellefonte area. Obviously, great work by the private sector, but support from the public sector as well. So would like to make the motion to approve the check run dated June 17th.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the check run. Any final discussion on the check run? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion has carried. Okay, for our administrator's report, John, anything to report?
No administrators report at this time.
Okay, thank you, and we will turn it over to you for the letter of support for College Township.
Thank you. College Township intends to apply for a $1.94 million Commonwealth Financing Authority Multimodal Transportation Fund grant to aid in the design and construction of the proposed $2.77 million East College Avenue shared use path. The proposed project is a new 10-foot wide path that will fill a critical gap in the regional transportation network by establishing a safe bicycle and pedestrian route paralleling East College Avenue from Puddintown Road to an existing path near Hastings Road on the Penn State University campus in the State College Borough. This grant will be matched in the amount of $830,000 from College Township's general fund. Before you is a request for a letter of support of this project.
Okay, John, thank you so much. Any comments, feedback?
Glad to see that's moving forward. They've got that new housing development that broke ground a couple of months ago that I think a lot of the residents there would be using that path. Additionally, I'm driving walking on a 4-foot shoulder where people are moving at highway speeds.
Yeah. Yep. Sounds good.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, with the recent fatality of a cyclist here in our community, it's even more greater that we would really hope that the state hears this application and supports it. Certainly, anytime that we can keep folks safe as they travel throughout our community would be appreciated. So, much needed project, and I think we're all happy for a letter of support coming to College Township. Would there be a motion to approve that letter of support?
Motion to approve the letter of support for the College Township East College Avenue Shared Youth Path Project.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion or question? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion has carried. John, thank you so much. For our liquid fuels entity for local use, we'll welcome up Ann Mesner at this time, and we're looking forward to our mid-year program update. and also a little bit about where we stand with our 2018 and 2019 bridge bundles. So Ann, good morning, and we'll turn the floor over to you at this time.
Thank you very much. Do you want to share the screen, Ann? Do that so I can see it. There you go. All right, thank you very much.
Technology.
So I'm going to try to get to the slideshow. Okay. All right, good morning, everyone. As has been custom, I guess, for Center County is to do updates twice a year to the commissioners. This is our mid-year update. We, as a county, have the local transportation funding program, and you will see it was approved in August of 17. And the focus is on liquid fuels, fee for local use, and Act 13 at-risk bridge funds. Something that helped us is the roadmap funding. That's federal funding. So we're able to take two bridges off our list in that regard. They do have, the municipalities have entered into the PennDOT agreements to move forward with those projects. So they are moving along. But what this also does is having these funds creates opportunity for the county to leverage other funds as projects become known. Just a really quick recap. Liquid fuels and Act 13 have been around for a number of years, but fee for local use has been around since 2017. So it seemed to make sense to have this set of years for each of these funding pots. And you will see that Act 13, which is at risk, has had 7 projects. Fee for local use has just had 21 projects. The commissioners authorized the June distribution this year to several municipalities. And then liquid fuels is 36 projects. What we're seeing, more than likely, it will be similar from the last couple years in terms of the funds that we receive. So fee for local use will be roughly around $600,000. Liquid fuels and Act 13, we're not expecting increases. It ranges a little bit, as you can see, but we think we're going to be under $200,000 for each of those funds. We have not received notification yet for liquid fuels in Act 13, so I can't tell you the exact figures, but the June allocation for fee for local use was $280,710. Just for the June distribution this year, those are the projects. Some of these have been efforts that have been on these municipalities' lists for quite some time, specifically Bellefonte Borough. They are cobbling together funds from CDBG, multimodal, and then the county to improve the intersection of Spring Street and Bishop Street. And that's going to be quite the project when it gets rolling. There is a balance that you'll see in the table later, and so staff is proposing that $32,985 of that balance be placed in the bridge bundle reserve. We are getting additional information that the bridge bundles are going to be increasing in cost, and we need to plan ahead. And you'll see in the later slide a little bit what I'm talking about. Based on previous distributions, the estimated December allocation for fee for local use will be roughly $320,000. So this is really hard to read, but as you will see, the county for fee for local use has received just above $2.6 million. What has been unallocated is just above $105,000, and that you'll see at the top, just above that second gray line, those pieces of information. And then you'll see the numerous projects that fee for local use has funded. Based on what I know at the moment, I wasn't able to get a final kind of tally. is roughly 50 to 60% of these funds that have been allocated to municipalities will be distributed this year. There was some delay with some of these projects getting moving, the bridge bundles included, but we anticipate that municipalities are gearing up. So by the end of the year, the vast majority of these projects will be underway and spending their funds. And you will see at this point the total that has been distributed to municipalities is $2,537,919.61. With the 2018 multimodal funds, grant funds, these are for rehabs in Spring, Curtin, and Miles Township. The original project cost was $1.95 million, with the county using fee-for-local use funds of $585,000. We have spent approximately half of the county fee-for-local use funds as of May toward design and environmental, as well as working on the right-of-way plans. We expect this project is going to be gearing up pretty fast the rest of the year, and you'll see in the subsequent slide why. The reserve line item at this point is being looked at for overruns in terms of increase in costs, as well as some things that are not part of the budget. So advertising for bid, we have to, as a county, advertise, and that's roughly $300. And then recording of the right-of-way plans, which for this round, for this set of bridges is $59. So those are really small amounts, but we're expecting that there will be other items that need to be paid for. We're anticipating advertisement for bids in the next couple of weeks and would like to continue to use fee-for-local use for increases in bridge costs. It is a flexible fund. It does not have to go on the tip, and so it gives us some, what's the word I'm looking for? Some ability to act quickly when we have construction projects and we might have future change orders. So here is the schedule as I know it today. What we're anticipating is the commissioners will receive the bid documents and authorize advertisement July 12th. Our design team, Larson Design Group, is going to be posting all of that information on their webpage and will be receiving questions about the bid package beginning July 15th. The bids will be opened for the 3 rehabs August 19th, with a recommendation coming to the commissioners August 26th. Sorry for that being cut off. And then with a approval August 30th, award to contractor September 23rd, and notice to proceed, because there's quite a bit of paperwork between the September and November date, November 11th of this year. The 19 bridge bundle is a little bit less clear, but I wanted to at least give you what we think is going to be the advertisement schedule, and it will be, the process will begin in September with bids in October, and then potentially a commissioner meeting in November with award to contractor in November, with notice to proceed in January of 2023. But I have a feeling this one's going to change. There had to be some additional work done with the bridges and some of the design work. And there is some concern that since these are replacements, that there's going to be a longer time to actually manufacture the items needed for the bridge replacements. Kind of jumping to what we typically do at summer into fall is liquid fuels, and this is the draft schedule staff is suggesting, is that commissioners authorize solicitation of the annual liquid fuels program August 30th. All notifications are sent to the municipalities. We've been doing email, and it's been pretty successful, so we're going to continue with that August 26th with a deadline of October 21st. Review has to be done by PennDOT and county staff. The reason we have PennDOT is to make sure that they are following the requirements of liquid fuels and they're not proposing something that would not meet those requirements. Recommendations would go to the commissioners November 29th with acting on the awards December 6th. So staff, in terms of future bridge projects, I'm a transportation planner, so I like to plan rather than not plan. So continue to build the reserve for the bridge bundles, and you will see the next agenda item talks about in addition to the reserve line item, so that we would have a reserve line item of $125,000. We are expecting in the future, it will not be this year, and it probably will not be next year, now that other bridge projects are gearing up on the tip, to have a retroactive reimbursement program line item that will work toward getting other bridges repaired or replaced. We have 6 bridges that are in our top 15 list that are in need of something at this point but have no funds, and so we will have to address that sometime in the future. A local match is required, so there is a possibility that those municipalities will be coming to the county and asking for funds. The other item at some point in the future is to explore Act 13 funds for future bridge projects. We have not utilized our funds in the last several years, and I think that has probably been the reason why we've been concentrating on the bridge bundles and trying to get those through. But once these bridge bundles are completed, there will have to be a decision made on the Act 13 funds. Continue to monitor bridges over 20 feet. Like I said, we do have 6 that have no project associated with them in our county. And finally, there are roughly 55 bridges that are local bridges. That means they are between 8 and 20 feet in length, and they are not regularly inspected. And staff has concerns that at some point we are going to see what we are seeing with the over 20-foot bridges, degradations that they cannot be used. And few municipalities actually conduct bridge inspections on these smaller bridges. Liquid fuels can be used to inspect those bridges, but of course we would need a discussion with you as commissioners as to whether or not you think that's a good idea. Transportation planning work items. Today, the 21st, is the mid-year update, and also consider adding the fee for local use funds to the bridge bundle reserve. Second item would be acting on the liquid fuel schedule if the commissioners are okay with it, as well as the fee for local use funds for the bridge bundle reserve. The third item would be to authorize advertisement for the bridges. We do have a draft bid document. Staff has been going through it. At this point, we don't have any significant questions, so we think it can move forward. But it is coming. It will be coming up very soon. And then late summer, early fall, as we kind of get more information, potentially before we get the bids, probably should have another update as to what things look like in terms of the bridge bundle expenditures. I think there's going to be a significant change in the next several months as we ramp up to construction. August 23rd is the tentative date, like I had said before, for the recommendation, with the August 30th actual recommendation. And then finally, December 6th, acting on the liquid fuels applicants. There's probably going to be a couple other things mixed in there, but at the moment, staff doesn't really know what those are yet. So that is our best plan at the moment. Are there any questions?
And to try to summarize for the folks at home, the local match money is very important. It pulls down state and federal funding, so the fee for local use has no administrative fees on it. Every dollar collected goes toward active projects, which pulls down additional millions of dollars of state and federal funding. You know, transportation planning can be a little bit on the dry side, but nobody wants a bridge closed to their neighborhood. Nobody likes potholes big enough to rip the tires off your car. And I recently visited some other states where that's happening all the time. At least here in Center County, we all work together with the municipalities, all 35 of them, to ensure that almost all of our bridges are now at least planned, the bigger ones planned to be updated. And at least recently, I haven't seen any potholes in the county big enough to literally rip the tire off your car. So appreciate all your hard work, all the hard work of the transportation planners in the county, and of course, PennDOT as well. So thanks for your work on this, and I know all 161,000 residents in the county and the millions of tourists that come here every year appreciate the quality roads.
Oh, good. No, it's really very good, very, very well presented, and quite frankly, I think we have a lot to be happy about here in Center County, keeping the roads and bridges in good repair.
And thank you as always for the presentation. I think one of the things that we're always struck by is the amount of energy that goes into getting these bridge bundles done. It was a fantastic news when we were awarded the grant, and these municipalities certainly thank you for the work that you're putting into this. So as we start to see that first bundle come up for bid, and that'll be exciting to see that coming to fruition. And then as we go into next year, seeing what that's going to look like. In terms of the action that you're looking forward today, it's just those two, which is to, or really just that one, which is to add to the existing bundle reserves additional funds, and that's in the amount of $32,985. So question one, is that correct? And then is there anything else, any action or any feedback you need from us today?
The only other item was in my presentation, and I probably missed it. I apologize for that. And that was the schedule for the liquid fuels applications later this year.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So in terms of those dates, any feedback or anything that we saw here that we wanted to change?
Looks good.
Yeah, sounds
Feedback?
reasonable.
Okay. Okay. All right, I think we're all good, and we will look at, so we have consensus for the schedule for this year, and then additionally, we'll look for a motion to add to the reserve fund.
I think Gary may have a question.
Oh, sure. Gary, fire away, please.
You talked about some of the, I think the smaller bridge projects are lack of inspections. Are those inspections done by local municipalities, or are those also PennDOT inspections?
It is up to the local municipalities to do those inspections. In fact, anything that's under 20 feet, the staff is proposing perhaps looking at a way to look at bridges that are 8 to 20 feet long, and not the smallest of the small. We do know some municipalities regularly inspect those bridges, but others don't have the financial means to do it.
And you talked about some of the projects possibly being delayed due to materials. Is that due to supply chain issues with construction materials, or other issues?
It's a combination. I don't have a full picture on that, but that is contributing to it.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Any other questions before we look for that motion? Okay, we'll look for the motion then.
Motion to add the fee for local use funds to be added to the existing 2018-2019 multimodal bridge bundle reserve to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion has carried. And thank you once again.
Yes,
We
thank you.
appreciate the work on this.
Thank you.
All right, we'll turn it over to Commissioner Dershowitz for the registration report.
All right, good morning, all. I have my first voter registration report in a little while, and it includes 105,084 registered voters here in Center County. That's up 28 from the last report, which was before the primary election. And I'd like to offer that there are 43,952 Democratic registrants, 147 Green Party, 653 Libertarian, 14,104 no affiliation, and 42,430 Republicans, When added with the 3,798 of the smaller parties, you get the 105,084 number. The feature small party of the day is going to be the centrist party. The centrists have one registered voter in Center County, so we'd like to recognize them. But the feature precinct of the week is Miles Township West 63, which votes at the Madisonburg Civic Center. And in the last primary election, there were 191 registered voters in that precinct. There were 94 ballots cast, and led to a voter turnout percentage of 49.21%, pretty good number. And the folks that make it happen, which I really want to recognize, the judge of election is Emily Hall. The minority inspector is Darla Boob. The majority inspector is Susan Long, and then the clerk Charlotte Federoff and Mary Ann Krieger. And I want to thank them for their help and the great folks at the Civic Center for allowing us to invade their space for a couple times a year. So thank you. That's my report.
I think that's one of our several precincts that serves soup.
Oh man, I gotta go now.
It's good soup.
That's right. All right.
Thank you, Commissioner Dershowitz, for the report. And we will just want to announce one thing briefly, that we will be closed on Monday, July 4th for Independence Day. I hope everybody has a great Independence Day here. Any final questions before, let's see, executive sessions report? I apologize. Any executive sessions to report, John?
No executive sessions to report at this time.
Okay, thank you so much. We have the balance of our public meetings scheduled there for the upcoming weeks. We will take any questions from the press at this time that we didn't answer already.
Good morning. We've been hearing from some residents in State College who are concerned about the focus of housing gearing primarily toward college students who have roommates and less so about single housing, low-income properties. So was just looking to see if you could give any insight on any projects or conversations that are happening surrounding housing for single-unit, low-income residents.
Sure, I can certainly offer my opinion on that, Peyton. Several years ago, our housing specialists within the planning office worked very closely with mostly Center Region municipalities to create ordinances that would require that any large development would be needed to be offset or also built in conjunction with affordable housing units and sustainable housing units. And so many of the projects that you're seeing come that are currently happening that are majority student development. And let's face it, we have a lot of students here, and so there's a market for it. Folks are investing in that. But those projects are being offset because of the work that's been done through the planning office and the local municipalities as well, their foresight, to create additional affordable housing units for folks. In addition, our Act 137 program has been very robustly getting out funds to development. We just had the State College Community Land Trust put on the market additional homes that were funded with Act 137 funds, and also in Phillipsburg, Habitat for Humanity was able to, we have a partnership with them through those funds to get that out there. As we come up towards the middle of this year, we're going to be putting additional Act 137 funds out for application, and so we are looking currently for any developers, local folks, whomever who are looking to do sustainable housing projects, affordable housing projects, upcoming to apply for that money to get it out there so we can, again, support affordable development. The Pennsylvania Housing Finance Authority or Association, the PHFA out of the state, is really a large driver of affordable housing here in Pennsylvania. And so the partnerships that many of our builders have with them is important to apply for tax credits or any grant funds. And so we also encourage them to reach out to those statewide organizations, because again, these projects are large, costs are increasing, and they need to have the resources to be able to follow through on the project. So we're always working with our local municipalities, working with the state to get additional funds and additional options out there for folks. But certainly, we are not alone within the country, I will say, for these type of housing units. So it's certainly something that's a focus, and we continue to work on it, and we will work with anybody to solve this problem, to get additional housing.
And so Commissioner Pipe had a very comprehensive overview there. I think the only thing you missed was the housing study that we have underway, because a lot of the developers and property owners are very interested in having recent data about housing demand and unmet housing demand in the county.
Is that helpful, Peyton? Any other? Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. All right. At this time, we look for a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Motion to adjourn at 10:59.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye.